Back to spraying today. Get this thing fired up and pulled out of here. The sprayer's pretty much full already. Got everything mixed in it except for the Roundup. So Roundup's on the tote on there, and get this thing pulled out, fill it up, and we will be good to go. Just dug up this little guy. These were planted 3 days ago on April 4th. They already look like that. It's amazing what a little heat and humidity will do. Mixing a tank. Got just about full. I need to get something so these don't foam up just bad. There's a lot less water in there. Topped off with a little fuel. Throw a little Roundup in this thing off the tender trailer, and we'll be off. And we are filling. This is the easy way. Get Roundup in the tank. Dump it right out of there. I like it.
A 6-cent range of trade
this field
now
is looking beautiful.
2 cents at $3.29.5 July.
These beans are already germinated. They're already getting started. The grass is definitely coming through. Saw a little bit of water hemp and maristel already, which is kind of surprising this early, but want to get that killed, get ahead of it before it gets out of hand. It's easy to kill it when it's small like this, but when it gets big, it's a whole different ball game. So getting that knocked out. The good thing is I use my half section shutoffs, and I'm actually running straight on where my planter tractor and planter tracks are. That way I'm not running over any more than what I have to. But being that the planter is, make sure I don't nail this pole. And there we go. That's what breakaways are for. But anyhow, I'm running on, this sprayer is 60 foot wide and planter's 30 foot, so I can just skip every other track and run that way, and I'm just following my planter tracks because I find it straight enough. You can see there I'm just following my tracks and it's fairly straight. I'm not going to bother setting an AB line. It's just easier to set. It's easier to just drive than it is to, and I know I'm following my tracks and I know I didn't miss anything with the planter, so it's easier this way. It's kind of difficult trying to follow that thing. So I beat the pump this go around. I've already got all my chemical in. It's still pumping water. Usually it beats me, but in this case I beat it. It's foaming like crazy though. Stop spraying real quick, just bring tractor home. But there's not one planter here, but two. Got both 12 rows right here. He's been planting beans. His pickup was parked here, so he parked his tractor here and took his pickup home. So the planter landed here, and it's been here a day or two. But well, got done spraying the 99-acre field. Decided not to spray anymore. We got rain coming in, and by the time I got the next field done, it would be about an hour in front of that rain, and I'd really like to let things set for at least 2 hours before it rains on it, so held off on spraying anymore. Depending on how much rain we get tonight, I'll probably spray some more tomorrow, but until then I'm going to work some ground, just knock some weeds out down here on this stake ground, and save me the pass with a chemical. And this is going to get sprayed right after it's planted, regardless of whether it gets worked or not, so there's really no point coming out here and spraying it. This ground's really, really hard. It feels like it's really compacted. You can't stick a soil probe hardly in the ground whatsoever. It's pulling this tractor really hard out here. And it's dry. I mean, it's damp in places like right here. This is kind of a low spot. It's surrounded by trees, but it's dry out here. It's just, a lot of this ground is just packed. So trying to shatter some stuff, make a decent seed bed, I don't know. It's cold out too, so this is gonna warm the ground up a little bit. But just kind of weighing my options. I don't think I'm gonna work at all. I'm just gonna work some of it. But it'll be a good comparison what I do and don't work out here, because all the ground's fairly similar. So if many of you know where I'm from, know about where I farm, you might recognize that lake. Like I said earlier, I'm farming on state ground right now, so if you put 2 and 2 together, you can probably figure out where I'm at.
Jasper County, Southeastern Clark County, Richland County, Clay County, Southeastern Effingham County until 8 p.m. At 7:12 p.m., severe thunderstorms were located.
It's about to get fun. It's getting dark. I'm gonna get this field done, and I think I better take it back to the shop. It's a shame because it's working up really, really good. Running 7 miles an hour out here, but the weather's got other plans, so Mother Nature's gonna tell me what to do again. In a situation like this, there's really only one thing you can do. Grab a gear and finish the field. She's pulling. May as well. Alright, little update. It is pitch black over there. It's lightning like crazy. I'm doing the end rows and I am getting the heck out of here. It's making me nervous around here. All these tall trees, all the lightning I'm seeing. It's time to get out of here. Normally I don't hit road gear wide open coming out of the field because it throws mud everywhere, throws dirt off the tires everywhere. In this case, yeah, screw that, we're hammering down. Shake and bake. I ain't even stopping. Let's go. It's dark and you can't see me, but I'm halfway home. And this sky right now is lit up like a light show. I mean, it's like watching 4th of July fireworks right now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit puckered up. It's cool, don't get me wrong, and I love storms. Like, I get excited when it's gonna storm real bad. I absolutely love it. I hate cleaning up after them, but I love storms. But being in a big, tall metal tractor right now with a big, tall metal tillage tool sticking up is not the ideal thing to... It's like I got a lightning rod sticking up back there. I'm not liking this. Well, I tried, but the camera doesn't do it justice. You can probably see some flashes, but it doesn't look that impressive on the phone. Well, just lost all the radio stations, so I would say the radio tower got struck by lightning, because there is 0 radio stations now. Well, I made it home, but I'm gonna pull the semi up just a few feet because I think I can nose my pickup in the back there. I would park in the garage, but it's full of chemicals. So they're talking about lots of hail with this, and I really don't want to total out pickup. So I'm gonna try and nose it in here. We shall see. You guys can see this, but it's rough out there. If I try and walk to the house right now, I get a face full of gravel. That's how hard the wind's blowing. So there's that. I can't believe we still have power. It flickered, it went off, and then came right back on. I'm losing siding off the house right now. That's nice. done some more spraying today. It's cooled off quite a bit. Trying to keep my boots off the dirt now. But this is the ground that I no-tilled just the other day. About 50 acres here, so I'm going to go ahead and get it sprayed. I'm done doing any planting until it warms up more. The seed that is planted is already pretty much germinated, already swollen and starting to take off. So hopefully it all comes up fairly well. We are going to get really cold, but given that it's already germinated and it's busted open and swollen, I think I'm in the clear. It's not going to be up out of the ground before. We might get some freezes tonight and tomorrow night, but given that this stuff's not out of the ground, I'm not really that worried about it. So should be pretty good beans. This is playing out pretty well. So just going to get quite a bit of spraying done during this cold snap. That way when it warms back up, I can just hammer down planting. Well, I got out to clean a nozzle I ran into the ground with my handy dandy pink toothbrush. So I dug up a bean while I was out here. These were planted 3 days ago, and they're already looking like that. So I'm fairly confident, which that one wasn't near as deep as what the planter was set for, but it's also on a tire track. But I'm fairly confident these will come up. I mean, I shallowed this field up a little bit, but it's not. Oh, they're about an inch deep out here, so I'm pretty confident they won't be out of the ground when it's freezing. And as soon as it warms up, they'll be up. So looking pretty good out here. Pretty happy with the way this field looks. Filling up again. Well, this is harder to do one-handed than you'd think. Alright, well, you get the point. Those flip down. So that's hooked. Instead of going to the booms, I'm going to go to the mix tank. Open up that. Take our rinse on. See how that works. That just sucks chemical in, mixes it, puts it in the tank, agitates it, mixes it all up. Alright, that pump is running. It sprung a leak, as you can see, but it's a minor leak. I'm just not going to worry about it right now. It just cleans the sprayer off, gets the dust off of it, I guess. But pumping some water in there. Put some Roundup in. I go hook it up real quick with the battery. And we will be on our way. I've already got the residual and other chemical in, so about ready to have at it. Alright, well, I didn't reset that back to 0 last time I used it, but got the amount of Roundup I wanted. Put a little over 15 gallon in, which I'm not mixing a full 1,000 gallons this time, so that'll work. Get that in there, dump the rest of these in, and we will be off. So, fun fact about this chemical, it looks like mouthwash and it tastes minty, just like Listerine. Not that I've accidentally gotten it in my mouth or anything, but it's blue. Alright, rinse that down a little bit. Shut that valve off. Down just below 1,000 gallons. Take the pressure off. Kill the pump. Kill that pump, and it should be My float didn't come down. Should be just a hair over. Yep, right where I wanted it. About 3/4 of the way full. So that'll go finish about 40 acres, and that should wrap up everything that I've got planted so far. That'll have everything that's in the ground sprayed, and then I think tomorrow it's going to be back to Roundup and 2,4-D and spraying burn down. So then we'll go back to spraying what's not planted, but as for right now, I am all caught up, and that feels good. I'm gonna go ahead and take the tender trailer back up to the garden hose, get this thing topped off for the night. A 1,600 gallon on here, 1,500 gallon tank is full right now, and then hopefully by the time I get back, it's a little bit of a drive to get to the field, but by the time I get back, this tank should be full, and then I will throw the garden hose into the sprayer, and I should have about just under 300 acres of water loaded up to go spray tomorrow. So tomorrow should be a pretty big day spraying. I like to cover about 300 acres tomorrow. You know, it's funny how when you're spraying right now, you can really tell that I'm laying it down out there. Earlier today, it didn't look like hardly anything was coming out at all. It's just all in how the sun hits things, because if you look at that side, it doesn't look like there's much. You look at that side and it looks like it's pouring out, but as soon as I make a turn, it's the other way around. So it's kind of funny how it works. It's just all in how the sun's hitting it. Boy, isn't that just beautiful. The field worked out absolutely perfect. And I've quit running AB lines. I'm just following my planter tracks, but as you can see, they're pretty straight. Good morning. Just finishing up my nutritious breakfast of some chocolate chip cookies. So today we're going to try and hammer down and get a bunch of spraying done. Also, I may have found something to replace that. Don't know yet. Corn's awful cheap. So we're back on the road again, and I shouldn't be driving as far as what I am, but somebody forgot to spray 6 acres while he was on an 80-acre farm. So now I gotta drive all the way back over there for 6 freaking acres. Neat. Doing some beautiful cover crop termination today. It's working up gorgeous out here, and it keeps me from spraying this, which saves a little bit of money. This is gonna go into corn. It's already got fertilizer on it, so working that fertilizer in lightly. You can see that ground is just powdery. Working up perfect. Rolling along about 7 miles an hour. Only have this thing set for about 3 inches deep. So not going super deep, just trying to incorporate some fertilizer and take out this cover crop. So it's working up gorgeous out here. Making a little dust here and there. And as soon as it warms up, corn planter will be running out here. Well, I've got a field through the woods done there, a field through that woods done there, field through that tree line done, and now this one done. So that's 4 done. There's about 60 acres between the 4 of them. Like I said, this whole state property is very, very split up and all, but it is what it is. Still rolling. Working up just into powder back there. This will be going in beans again. The last field I was in going in corn. The rotation out here is a little messed up, but it is what it is. I don't get to pick and choose what gets planted where. I like to go 50-50, back and forth, corn and beans, but it doesn't always work like that out here. It's a new day. Something is probably going to break down in this video because I'm about to go to work on Easter. So church is canceled and I went and ate with family. So I've done my duty, right? Does this mean I can work now? Now it's way too windy to spray today. but it's not too windy to kill weeds with steel. I'm saving the planet by not using chemicals, right? Just burning fuel. Let's go. Down here in the bottoms, fighting rough chisel plowed ground and driftwood. And to add the cherry on top, piles of corn stalks everywhere. This field was an absolute nightmare last year. It was set up to be 250 bushel corn, and it was about 100 bushel shy of that. It flooded 6 or 7 times throughout the year. So I mean, even the fact that it made 150, 160 bushel was pretty impressive. But yeah, I'm glad I am burying 2019's mistakes down here, and hopefully 2020 is a little better year down here. I mean, yeah, it is raining, but I'm still gonna send it. This field's getting kind of out of hand with the weeds. It's way too windy to spray. Obviously can't spray in the rain. Forecast doesn't look promising, so this is about the best thing that I can do. This is not going to be 100% effective against the weeds, but it's better than nothing. This ground is also very low ground, very, very heavy ground, so if we can get it opened up, leveled up, airing out, that's going to help it some. I'm a believer in no-till, but not on ground like this. Goes along here. I'm gonna head back to that backfield back there, but it's looking like it's gonna start raining any time, so I may get it done and I may not. We'll see, but I'm still gonna try. I already got that side over there done, so that's a start. About 70 acres here that I'm planning on working. The rest of it I'm gonna leave alone. I've actually already sprayed the other 50 or so that I'm not planning on working here. So it's just going to be no-tilled, and then the rest of this is, well, I'm going to work the powder basically. Alright, well, I give up, Mother Nature. You win. It's actually raining now. Mud's sticking to everything. It's time to make one more round and get out of here. Slipping like crazy too. Not doing any good like this. Yeah, it's time to be leaving. Sure, the people on the highway aren't gonna appreciate the mud I'm about to track on the highway, but there's not much I can do about it. Somebody's a little bit cold this morning. Yeah, a little bit chilly out this morning. So it's cold today, it's pretty windy today. I'm not gonna do any spraying, but the field I got rained out on the other day, got about one more round and that'll be wrapped up. Both sides of the creek done, so I'm gonna get done here, move to about a 50-acre field, and then might go back out on that state ground today. I don't know. Just waiting on warmer weather. The planter's ready to go. For the most part, it's back together. I gotta put the cylinder back on it, but that won't take 15 minutes. But I would like to just see some warmer weather before I get that planter back in the field, but it is what it is for right now. I don't know what it is, but there is something super, super satisfying about turning green and yellow fields into black dirt. I got this thing sunk down about 3 inches now. I'll get my urea spread. This is going in corn, so I'm gonna spread urea on it. Some of it's gonna be, well, about half and half coated and non-coated urea, and then putting down a little bit of AMS as well. And I'll probably just straight rate all of that. This has already been variable rated with DAP and potash, but the nitrogen side of things, I'll just straight rate. And then I'm gonna come out here and put this in corn, but once I get that fertilizer spread, I'll work this a second time and probably set this down about 4 inches deep and really get it worked in. And should, I think if these weeds set a day or two, we don't have any rain in the forecast, so if they sit a day or two and dry out, and then I hit it again and let it dry out again, that will kill 95% of what is out here. So that'll help kind of with some weed control out here. It's not going to be perfect, but I'm hoping that by the time the corn's about yay tall, I'll come in here and spray it one time, and that should be good to go for the year. I am spraying the corn with some pretty hot stuff with a pretty strong residual, so it should hold the weeds back the remainder of the year. Turning some very, very rough hay ground into a cornfield. Only pulling this in about 4th gear right now because it is extremely rough out here, and I'm not trying to tear something up. Although I probably will, because I'm pretty good at that. This was chisel plowed last winter, and I really should have sprayed it and burned it off first. That's what it looks like after 2 passes, and you can't hardly tell I've done a thing. So, what it is, but we're just gonna hit it about 10-15 times and turn it into a cornfield. At least diesel fuel's cheap right now. 0%. We're not really making new fields per se, more like just making existing fields bigger. This was squared off here, had calves ran on it for years, but we're not fattening calves out anymore, so really no need for it. We were cutting hay off of it after that, but we have way too much hay as it is. So I'm just gonna go back to farming this. That side over there has already been worked probably 3 or 4 times, but this is the first time that this side's been worked. And I'm just creeping right along, very slow here, just tearing it up the first time, about 4 miles an hour. There's the existing field. Just gonna add to it with this. Still got slabs of grass and clods and this and that, but it's starting to look like a field over there. I've lost track of how many times I've gone over it at this point, but it's starting to look like a field. I thought about just no-tilling into this, but with the closing wheel setup that I have, there's a very slim chance I would have been able to close the seed trench. So really the only option is to tear it up, and if I'm going to tear it up, it's not really the best tool for that, but I'm working with what I got.